Yo, welcome to another episode of Taylor Complains Comedy Podcast. Me, your host, Taylor Perez. This has been 2 weeks since we haven't gotten a goddamn episode. Last week, I did an episode that I had to scrap and trash, and I'll tell you why. My cats don't want me to do anything that I like to do. They only want me to do things that they like to do. They were jumping on the keyboard. Every time I try to do this, my cats jump on the keyboard. They jump on the light. They jump on everything. And why can't I close the? Would you just close the door? I'll tell you why, jackass. We just didn't. Now we're not monetized anymore because I said the A word. That's something I can't figure out. How to monetize yourself. Might be unmonetizable. I have stopped swearing in a lot of my videos. There might be the sh word, every once in a while, but I can't say the R word. I have figured that out. No R word. If you use the R word, no one sees what you're doing. Nobody sees what you're doing. Um, let's see. I have very many times described my hatred for old people. That's apparently prejudice. I understand that it's prejudice. I do, but they're the worst part of society and I hate them. And I want them all. And listen, they're all supposed to lose their Social Security benefit. Good, good. All you do, listen, work these people until there's nothing, until they're dust. God, they complain and they have all the free time in the world. The only thing that keeps people sane is empathy. You go out in the world and you put a nice 8 hours of work in, 7 hours, 6 hours, whatever you do, 6 to 8 hours, honest day. And you come home and you're like, man, I had a hard day at work. I'm gonna be nice to people. Old people don't have that. They haven't worked in like 10 years. If you see one on the street, Grand Theft Auto them. And I know what you may be thinking. Grand Theft Auto, which one do you want me to do? Run up on the side of the street or roll up on the side of the street? And you know what? Both. Double tap. Double tap so they don't come back. You know what I mean? I hate them so much. Their opinions are terrible. And I know what's old. Anything above 60, you gotta go. My parents, my grandparents, everyone I know is included. Once you hit 60, you're out. I want to say 50, but still, listen, 50, your body still works. You can still work. There's a little bit of empathy there, but a lot of 60 and ups, we don't need them. We don't need them. And I know what you think. What, your parents listen to this? No, they don't listen to this. And if they did, this podcast is not for them. This is for people who like comedy. This is for people who are not taking me serious right now. I'm on an FBI watch list. I know for a fact that I am. I don't know how we got there. I don't know how we got there. Yeah, last week I had to scrap a podcast. I did one and it just didn't work out. The cats would not stop jumping. They would not stop jumping on stuff. They would not give me peace. So I put Walter on my shoulders and I was carrying Broody like they're little kids. Like my cats are little kids. I have a condenser on my microphone now. I'm an adult. I no longer pop in the peas. But let me know if this sucks. If you want me to go back to just screaming in your ear. I'm already screaming in your ears, but there's people that want to listen to this fucking podcast and on headphones and my peas keep popping and I keep peeking the mic or whatever the fuck. So hopefully this helps. If it doesn't help, I'll get one of those socks. And if that doesn't help, I'll spend $350 on one of the Shure mics that Joe Rogan has on his podcast. I mean, everybody has them on their podcast. I just use, and I don't really listen to Joe Rogan anymore. I listen to him when he has his comedy friends on there. I like Mark Norman. I like Ari Shaffir. I like Shane Gill. All the people that he has on his podcast. When there's comedians, I'll listen. But I don't want to listen to science for 3.5 hours. I appreciate science and I am very, very, very accepting of its importance. But I just, I want to hear about wiener jokes. I want more wiener jokes. The Oscars happened last night, but before that, we got to talk about shame. We got to talk about shame. Shame used to be important. Shame used to be a thing in the 90s where like you gain a little bit of weight and your friends go up to you and go, "Hey, fat ass, what's going on with this?" And you know what? Fat ass registered in your head like, I got to do better. I think I'm going to go to the gym today. It wasn't like, you didn't cry. There was no crying. You just went to the gym and you're like, I don't need a whole box of donuts. Maybe I'll have one donut on Sunday morning because I worked real hard and I worked for it. There's what? And you get, I walk by, South Coast Plaza in Orange County. There is a store, and I can't remember what store's name it is, but there's a fat lady on it. I want to know. What does that say? Set to professional audio, audios and settings. Oh, I could go professional audio. I should do that. I should do professional audio on here. Thanks for telling me while in the middle of the recording. How many minutes do I get this message in from Zoom? It's 6 minutes into the podcast. Thanks, Zoom. I'm walking by this store, right? And there's a fat lady on it. She's in a bikini. And I'm not offended by this, okay? More than I am just like, it sets off something in my brain to where I'm like, models have to work so hard. So have you been to the gym? Have you tried to eat healthy? It's hard. It's very, very hard. And sometimes that discipline is rewarded by your pictures being cataloged in a magazine or on the side of a store because you are what we aspire to be as people. You are the motivation that we have to be healthy. Some people might think that's unhealthy. I think, buck up, fatty. I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't hate fat people. Well, I hate obese people. Well, no. Some of you are really nice, and I like you. I just don't like when you complain. I really don't. You know what I hate more than anything is the overconfident fat people when they're just like, I'm a person too. No, you look like you ate a person. You are not an actual person. You are the substandard of what we all don't want. We don't want that. We don't want to be obese. There's people that stop listening to this podcast because all I do is fat shame every single episode. I just got to keep you honest. I'm not here to hold your hand and tell you that everything's going to be okay. I'm here to tell you if you work for it, you'll get it. And you could do it. Anybody can do it. You just need self-control. But I have body dysmorphia. No, you have wah. I can't do anything. I need a hug. That's what you need. And what you need is I'm going to go to the gym and put on some some Creed. I'm going to go listen to some Creed at the gym. And I'm going to get these weights and I'm going to take them higher. That was a Creed joke. That was terrible. I'm just saying, this is what we need to do. We need to keep ourselves honest. We need to put the work in. You got to do the work. 600-pound life, that Indian guy, if you don't do the work, you got to do the work. You got to do it. I'm telling you. It makes sense. You don't got to be a rail. You don't have to like look like you have an illness, but like, you know what I mean? You also don't need to be changing pants every season because you ate your way out of the other one. There's no worse feeling in the world than eating your way out of a size of pants. That's the saddest thing I could ever think. I did that. I did that during the wintertime. Your old boy looked like a melted can. I looked like a melted snowman in the middle of fucking February. I was like, shit, I gotta figure something out. I'm 4 weeks into the gym and eating healthy. And this is what I do. This is what I do. I hate the gym when I'm not going. Like, man, I don't want to do that. The gym is stupid. But when I do go to the gym, now I'm very pro gym. And I'm like, man, I see why this is important. I see why this is important. The Oscars were yesterday. Let's talk about the Oscars. You want me to fat shame everybody? I don't know I'm not going to know much. So Oscar winners, it looks like Anora won. I didn't see that. I don't know what the fuck that is. It sounds stupid. Anora. Best director, Anora again. I don't know what that is. I've never seen it. I'm not going to see it. I only watch horror movies exclusively because I review them every day. So that's 2 hours to watch a horror movie, an hour to do the review, edit it, and put it on all platforms. That's 3 hours of movie-related shit every single day. I'm not doing it anymore. Can't get me to, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I give you what I have, And that's my capacity is like 3 hours a day for this. Today I'm doing 5 because I had to write for the podcast and then I have to do the podcast and like writing. Sometimes writing takes me forever. Sometimes I don't want to write this podcast. I'm like, do I want to write this? Because 60 people are going to listen to this episode. Is it that important? All right. Actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody, that had to be the worst. And listen, I did not watch the Oscars, but this sounds like it's gonna lead to the worst speech of all time because Adrian Brody can't just win something and be like, hey, thanks, bye. It's like, hey, did you know children in Uganda are having their clitorises taken off? What? The what? I He always does this, and I don't like it. I don't You should, first of all, you should never say children and clitoris. And we're never getting monetized. It's never happening. I shoot myself in the foot every time because I have to say the dumb thing to be funny. I can't be witty and do the Nate Bargatze thing where I don't tell anything. I'm not lewd or gross in any way. I lead you around to a callback joke that I then reference later on. God forbid I do that and not put children's clitorises in the punchline of a joke. But that's probably what Adrian Brody talked about. And he's like, they're salty, but they taste good. so I, they're salty, but a little sodium every day won't kill you. It was probably the worst acceptance speech that you've ever heard in your life. It's probably very self-serving, like me laughing at my own jokes. Adrian Brody telling an acceptance speech. I just want to thank God. I want to thank, and then I bet they tried to play him off. The playoff is the best. I love when someone's trying to give an acceptance speech and they played him off. I'm not watching any of it. I'm not watching the Oscars. I don't care. The Oscars is like, maybe you've seen 3 of the movies and you're like, those were good, and they never win. It's always like some, Amelie in Paris or something, some foreign film, which foreign films are great. They're super great. But how did they make it into the Oscars? That I'm assuming the Oscars are for the United States. I don't know. I'm not going to assume. It just makes me look stupid. But I do like foreign horror. Foreign horror goes harder than American horror, and it's a fact. Actress in a leading role, who won that? Was it Honora again? Yep, it was Honora again. Actor in a supporting role, who won that? Kieran Culkin. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Your brother had a colonoscopy done by Michael Jackson when he was like 4 or 5 years old. And then you grow up and you get an Oscar. Good for you, buddy. Good for you. Listen, your brother got humbled a little bit. Michael Jackson looking around in his butthole, trying to, I don't know, mine for uranium or whatever, the precious metals. There's precious metals in here. I got to get them out. Whatever excuse that he made for looking in that child's hole, your brother capitalized and won an Oscar. I don't see Macaulay Culkin with an Oscar. Oh, bad. I got to snort so bad. Hold on. Anyways, no, we're not doing this. See, she's back. She's back. I know, I know. I know what you want to do. I know what you want to do. You want to derail my whole thing. And I know what you want to do. I gotta take you off. It breaks my heart because I hate saying no to you, but we can't. Last week I tried to do a podcast and you hit a button when you were on my computer and it didn't record. 40 minutes, sweetheart. We can't do this. We can't do it. I love you though. I love you. I love you so much. I gotta take you down. I gotta take you down. But I love you, okay? Oh, I love you so much. Oh no, they're both in here. They're both in here. They're gonna derail it. They're gonna derail the whole thing. I feel it in my bones, and I can't do this. What do you guys want? You're scaring me. Anyways, God, 15 minutes in. I'll put the 15 minutes out. I don't care. You don't think I will? You guys better get out of here. I don't like being stern with my cats. I don't like it. I'll yell at people. I walk by my neighbor's house. I look right at their child and I'm like, why do you have tits? You're 4 years old and you're a boy. Why do you have tits? Might be a trans boy. Who knows? Um, Um, yeah, Kieran Culkin wins for a real pain. I don't know what that is. I've never. I mean, that's the one with Jesse Eisenberg, where they're brothers and they don't get along. I don't know how that wins anything because like I don't get along with my brother. I mean, I do get along with my brothers, but they probably listen to this podcast and like, oh, we never want to speak to him ever again. Like within their own rights to do so, they're gay. I make a lot of gay jokes, but I don't hate gay people. I just make jokes about everybody. If you're a part of the community, you're gonna get made fun of or you're gonna get joked about. Sorry. Don't be a part of the fucking community if you don't want the jokes. If you don't want the smoke, stay home. Stay home. Don't ask for rights. If you ask for rights, we're going to make fun of you. That's it. Because we're going to treat you like everybody else. That's the true meaning of equality, in my opinion. Um, Actress in a supporting role? Who's this? Zoe Saldana for Little Amelia Perez. I don't know who that is. Is that the trans? That's the trans movie, right? The guy in the. I heard Tim Dillon talking about it. It's a trans lady who is like the head of a cartel or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, shout out to Brittany, my friend Brittany, because I didn't know Chris D'Elia did a podcast, and it sounds like mine, but better, obviously better in every conceivable way. Because I'm not at the level of Chris D'Elia, nor am I attracted to 16-year-olds. I like Chris D'Elia. I separate the art from the artist. I watch Cheapers Creepers 100 times. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to hang out with the director. I'm not going to give him a high five after and be like, let me smell your finger. Oh, that smells like a felony. No, I'm not doing that to anybody. But I'm going to watch your movie. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Casey Anthony's on TikTok. Okay, I'm not going to watch her TikTok. But she boiled her kid in the back seat of her car. Yeah, because she was hungry. Sometimes people can't afford groceries and you gotta boil your kids. You don't understand. You don't under. We're not going to buy a rotisserie chicken maker. We're going to make one out of our child in the back seat of a car. Is that what happened? That she boiled her kid in the back seat of her car? It was like the hot car. She kept her kid in the back. All I know is she's hot. That's all I know. She can keep me in the back seat of the car. I will wait. You go to Walmart. I'm not going to Walmart anyway. And I'm not dating anybody that goes to Walmart. Walmart is a sign of poverty, and I will not have that in my friends or people in my life. But yeah, Casey Anthony is very attractive. But shame on you, Casey Anthony, for not turning the oven down before you left. No survivors. None. Conclave wins for best screenplay. I don't know what that is. Conclave, I think, is that the one? And I'm not sitting here playing stupid. I look at the name of the film. I haven't seen any of these films. And I'm like, oh, that's the one about the Pope. I just know it's about like a new Pope or something. I bet they don't talk about what the biggest problem in the Catholic Church is, though. The biggest problem, they're all a bunch of Michael Jacksons. They all, if you're in the Catholic Church, the best thing that you could ever get is a Macaulay Culkin situation where you just go mining all day. That's all you do all day is go mining. Got your hard hat on, but that's your metaphor for a condom. And you go mining for gold all day. And these kids, God bless you. God bless. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the cannoli spirit, because you're taking that cannoli and mining with it. Yeah, I know what you're gonna. That's your pickaxe, and you're digging deep. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. I don't know how you make a movie about the Catholic Church, and that's not the only thing that you talk about. That should be the only thing that's talked about in perpetuity until it changes. Who cares if there's a new pope? Is this pope going to spit on his hand and take a boy into a tent because he saw Brokeback Mountain once? What what are we doing? What are we doing? This podcast is way better than the last one I did because I was so distracted by my cats. I love as soon as this fucking shit ends, I'm gonna go in the other room. I'm gonna take Walter. I'm gonna put him on my neck like a scarf, and I'm gonna take Broody. I'm gonna hold her like this, and I'm gonna walk around for like an hour with my cats. That's what I'm gonna do on my day off because I had to work yesterday. I had to work yesterday on my day off. I'm not happy about that. What's next? Nora wins again for writing. The Brutalist wins for cinematography. I can't imagine what this movie's about with Adrian Brody. But the pianist, penis. whatever he was in, the pianist was the most. I can't even. I watched the credits and I gave up. I watched the credits. Animated movie Flow. Let's see. Memoir of a Snail. I can't watch these. Oh, but these. I can't do these animated movies anymore. Sorry, I had to make sure my microphone was on. I can't do animated movies anymore. I cannot do them. I'll tell you why. They make me cry. And I only get one cry a year. I only get one cry a year. Why am I going to waste it on this animated film? Why am I going to waste it on this animated film? I'm not saying the animated film isn't good. Animated film's probably extremely good. It's probably great. I just, I don't want to cry when I watch something. Do you? I don't want to cry. I'm not into it. Memoir of a Snail, I've heard, is the saddest thing in the world. Inside Out is all about like coming to terms with your emotions and how to like handle them. And I'm sure they just added new emotions to this one. Flow, I have no idea what that's about. I've heard The Wild Robot is insanely sad. I'm not watching any of this. I'll watch Wallace and Gromit. There's no way Wallace and Gromit is making me cry. If a movie's made out of clay and it makes me cry, send me to the Catholic Church. I'll go to the confession booth and put my butt right up to that glory hole thing and just wait because that's what I deserve. That's what I deserve. I know that I just use sodomy as a punishment, but listen, for me, it is. I would not enjoy it. Just if you enjoy sodomy, it's fine. I hope that you're happy, disease free, and doing the things that you do to have fun and be happy. Lest anyone listens to this and thinks that I have a problem. I don't have a problem with anybody. You're a part of the community. You're a part of the satire. It is what it is. The music, The Brutalist wins. Music, Emilia Perez wins. Production design is Wicked. God, fucking, this had to be the worst night of shit. This just looks terrible. And I'm never going to watch Anora. I know there's people like listening to this, like, you should absolutely watch Anora and expand your mind. Horror, you can't watch horror all day. I have a machine that I'm running. I have like three social media accounts. I have a podcast. I just uploaded the clip of I upload the podcast and then I have to make a clip of the podcast, edit that down, make sure that's good to like put out places. And then I have two other social media accounts that I do not post anything on that I need to start doing for the podcast specifically because I need more listeners. I need more people to hear about how unprofessional I am. I think we're good with what we have. Honora wins for best editing, documentary, No Other Land. I've never heard that. Never heard of that. Documentary, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. That sounds terrible. Uh, International film, I'm Still Here. Make Up the Substance. Yo, finally, something Demi Moore. And The Substance. A horror movie being up for this many awards. I think the horror movie was also up for Best Picture. You got to see this movie because her areolas are just out in this film and she looks great. She's 60 years old. She's killing it. I love Demi Moore. And I love that a film that I really, really like and enjoy and actually saw made the Oscars. How cool. That's a win for horror. I love that. Dune Part 2 wins Best Visual Effects. Oh, I've heard of that. I've never seen it. Costume design, Wicked. You can't. I'm afraid that if I watch Wicked, it's going to make me gay. That's why I haven't seen Wicked yet. My dad cannot have four gay men as kids. He will kill himself. There's no way. Two of them, it's fine. Because he's like, well, you can't dock without one guy and another guy. It makes sense that they're gay. What am I going to do? That doesn't make sense. Thank God I like boobs. Animated film In the Shadows of Cypress. I never heard of that. Oh, animated short film. Sorry. In the animated, how long is this? How long is this? Oh, okay. There's only one more. Live action short film. I'm Not a Robot. All right. There you go. That is your, wait, sound design? Dune Part 2. And that is your 2025 Oscar list. Ladies and gentlemen, that took a lot out of me. Let's answer some questions. No, let's not. Let's not answer questions. Let me get into something I want to talk about very, very briefly before I answer questions. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Let's answer. No, we're not answering questions. We're not doing that right now. We got to talk about this Trump Zelenskyy shit. Today is the day that the tariffs go up on Canada and Mexico. All goods imported into the United States from Canada and Mexico have a 25% increase in price on them, and that is how we are going to lower taxes in the United States. This has not been received well because the stock market is plummeting. I don't understand the significance of the stock market going down because I don't have any knowledge about stocks, and I don't want any knowledge about stocks. But I know when the stock market goes down, that is a bad sign for America. Shareholders, people investing in companies, how much they invest in companies, the buying and selling of stock. I understand the significance of that. But what I don't understand is how we just let this happen. We just let this happen. I voted for Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden. Was I happy with the administration? Here's what I wasn't happy with Joe Biden. The administration was weak. I didn't not the administration, the like our what word am I looking? The representation was weak. I didn't like the representation, but I don't like the representation of our country now. But even more so, here's what I miss. I miss an old man. I miss an old man who, when he got off stage, he would do circles like a dog before it sits down. He's just like, where do I go? And he would just do circles until somebody pushed him in the right direction and he just went there. At least I knew that there was people behind him making decisions while this moron was just like, you know what I mean? Like my grandma in 2 years when she can't like hold her bottom lip. She can't hold fluid with her bottom lip. So the drool just, you know what I mean? And now we don't know whether to put her in an autism. We don't know whether to put her in an old folks home or send them on the special school bus. You know what I mean? We don't know where to put this broad. So, God damn it, I gotta do it again. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Sorry. Um, this administration now is horseshit. You can't defend it. You can't defend your groceries are supposed to get cheaper. Okay, you voted for cheap groceries, you voted for cheap gas. Gas is up $1 where I live. It's up $1. And I know it gets expensive in summertime. It's March. It's not summertime, it's March. So what's going on? What is going on? Where your guy's not doing what he said he would do. He was a kid running for school president who was like, there's going to be vending machines that just cost nothing. And you just press a button and Doritos will fall out. I pressed the button and now my ass hurts. That's not what you sold the people that voted for you. And now I'm seeing a lot of people that regret their vote. And they're like, I voted for Trump and I regret it. And people were calling me a pussy for voting for Kamala Harris. Here's what I don't like Kamala Harris, okay? But I understand that this is a two-party election. You vote for one person or you vote for the other person, and anything else that you put in is a waste of a fucking vote. So I don't have much of a choice when I put a vote out. I don't have any choice. There's nothing that I could do to have the candidate that I want in there, because Bernie would be in there. I like Bernie. Bernie's dope. Bernie's like, yo, we're being run by a bunch of rich people, and they're just electing more rich people to work in the cabinet. And this is only going to benefit rich people. And you got the poor people, like, I love billionaires. I do. I love a billionaire. It's my favorite billionaires. That you know what? They work hard for their money. The billionaires have stepped onto the heads of thousands of people to get where they are. They've bankrupted people. They've caused people to be homeless. The amount of evil shit that you have to do to be a billionaire is insane. And every billionaire on the planet should be assassinated. Every single one. There's no such thing as a benevolent billionaire. I don't know how loud I need to say this. And to have the president of a war torn country sit in front of our president and our vice president, and for them to not hear him out, talk over him, and not have facts. You started the war, Zelenskyy. No, we didn't. Why would Zelenskyy start a war with the biggest country in the world? Russia is the biggest country in the world. Why Ukraine without our weapons, without our help, Ukraine would have gotten smashed day one. And you talk over the guy, you ask why he isn't. You know why he's not wearing a suit. He said at the very beginning of the war, I am going to dress as the people do until the war in my country is over. When the war in my country is over, I will go back to being the president of a country. But until then, I am now someone who is fighting for this country. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. It's it's good for morale. It's good for the citizens of your country who are, half of them have their fucking houses blown up. They're going to pueblos. Now they live in pueblo, little mud huts that they had to make. Little mud hut. Now they gotta be mud fuckers too, because their wives are dead because they got blown up that were in the mud hut doing the dishes. Now the husband's got to do naked push-ups in the backyard to get their relief, to get a little bit of warmth on their wiener with the mud and the friction. And then maybe when you come into the hole, it plants vegetation and you guys get more potato. Is that where the potatoes come from in Russia? Is that where they come from? I digress. I digress. I'm just saying I'm not happy with the representation of our country. And Vladimir Zelenskyy is not listening to this. There's no way that he's listening to this, but I would like to apologize for the representation of our country. That is not how someone should be treated. That is a guest in our country, especially someone that we have diplomatic relations with, especially someone that we're trying to help win a war that they should not win. Listen, and can we also talk about Russia's a bunch of big pussies? You have the biggest country in the world and you can't take out Ukraine? Yo, shame. Shame. If you had any balls, you would have conquered that country in 2 days. Fuck Russia. And I'm not doing the Palestine thing. I'm not doing that. I don't like doing it. It really bothered me this weekend when I saw our country being represented, because America's fucking the best. I love living here. I love the freedoms that we get here. I love that you could be gay and not killed. I love that women don't have to cover up in like all this stupid ass garb because they believe in some dumb god. I love that like girls can be like, I love Jesus, and then go to a ZZ Top concert and show their titties. That's what I like. And they have the freedom to do that. They have the freedom to do that. They can wear shorts that are so short that they're not even straight on their body anymore. The shorts curve up. They start to go upward. That's how short the shorts are, and half their butt cheeks hang out. And you're like, oh my God, I can still see her. I can see her hymen. She's not a virgin because half of it's hanging out like a broken tree branch. I love that we live in a country that you kind of have the ability to get ahead. You kind of do. You got to be lucky. You got to be lucky. You got to be born into means sometimes. But you go to other countries, you don't have shit. You don't have shit. The bugs are the size of your head. It's all bad. And I'm not saying every country's like that. I'm saying a lot of countries are like that. And we're not the best country in the world anymore. But I think that with the right representation and like with somebody steers the ship the right way, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We got a decade of work to put in to be the best country in the world. I think we could do it. I think we could do it. but not by letting down our allies, not by, stepping away from what it looks like, stepping away from NATO and all this other shit. I don't like that. Not with going to trade wars against Canada and Mexico. And don't message me with your dumb, like long-winded political views. All right. I'm not sitting here saying that we need to teach trans politics to kids. I'm not extreme left or extreme right. I just don't like disrespectful representation. I don't like treating people from war-torn countries with such blatant disrespect. It bothers me and I don't like it, and it'll never be a part of my brand, and I'll never support that shit. All right. But I'm not over here like take their guns away. I don't care. Own as many guns as you want. I don't care. Own as many. I don't care about guns. I don't like fucking whatever. You want to be trans, you want to be gay, that's fine. You know what I mean? I don't care. But I just don't like the representation. Okay? I don't like that. I don't like that things are getting more expensive because we are now answering to someone's ego. Now we got egomaniac over here trying to tell us he's going to make more presidential changes in the first 3 months of his president than any other president. And that's all this is about. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about it. He's just trying to break records. He's just trying to make headlines, break records so that you guys vote him. You guys vote him in for a third term, God forbid. Let's answer some questions. First question just says jizz. I don't I don't know, jizz. I haven't jizzed today. I should get on that. I would love to. I would love to. Howard Stern reference. What is the next one? The next one says, what film has made the most impact, and what film has made the most impactful impression on your character? Probably a comedy, probably like Half Baked or um like Half Baked, The Wedding Singer. I really, really loved comedies when I was a kid. Tremors was kind of a comedy. I just I love those movies. The Nutty Professor, Rush Hour, just all these movies with comedians at the front and center of the film that I would just recite all the lines at school and want to make people laugh. I just want to make people laugh. I want to make people laugh. That's the only thing that matters to me is that I make you laugh. Some people will say I want to make them angry. It's not true. I don't have a single question. Just wanted to say you've got a refreshing style and great taste in movies. That's it. Ian from Australia. Ian, God damn it, Ian. I appreciate you. I will tell you this. Every single person from Australia rules. Every person that I've talked to from Australia. If you talk like this, that was English, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Every single person that I've had an interaction with from Australia rules. I have nothing bad to say about Australia except your wildlife is insane. Those lizards as big as my laptop that I'm using on here. Fuck that. I'm not going there. Not going there. Lizards that big. You guys got Komodo dragons. I'm not going anywhere with Komodo dragon. You know how big those are? Komodo dragons. It's like might as well be an actual dragon. It's the size of a 40-inch TV. Not going near that. What is your favorite season of the year? My favorite season of the year? These could be any kind of questions. They can be relationship questions. They could be, hey, how do I get my dick to work? My dick doesn't work. And I don't look at pictures of me if your dick doesn't work. That's not going to work. That's not going to help. My favorite season of the year? I don't know. When I was a kid, I hated summer because it was hot. I loved winter, but I'm so tired of being bundled up all the time. And my apartment is 15 degrees colder than the ambient air outside. So it's like 65 degrees right now. So my apartment is 50 degrees. You see that math? You see that white girl math I did? So fast. I'm going to say spring. I like spring a lot because that's when it starts to warm up a little bit. There's a little bit of rain because I like a little bit of everything. Spring, you get like the longer days because of the daylight savings. It gets a little bit warmer and it's not too hot. It's not too hot, not too cold. You can wear short sleeve shirts. I usually rock the long sleeve shirt and the short shorts. Shorts are always above the knee. Always above the knee for stylistic reasons. If you're wearing shorts below the knee, you might as well join a gang. You might as well join a goddamn gang. I'm just kidding. I was ignorant. We almost made it. I've been drinking, this is my second bubbly water of the day in a row. So that's where all those burps are coming from. That's where all the burps are coming from. What else? What else? What else? What's your favorite season? What movie are you most looking forward to this year? I have no idea what's coming out this year. Probably the new Saw movie, but not because I'm a crazy Saw fan either. It's just because it's the only film that I'm like, doesn't that come out this year? That's the only one that I'm like, I think that comes out this year. Saw 11. Saw 10 is the best in the whole franchise. It's the best. Watching a guy pick pieces of his brain out with his fingers was crazy. Um, uh, it's slightly alarming how forward people are these days. Also, Theodore says hi. Yeah, some people ask crazy questions. Some people are like, "Hey, you're really hot. I was listening to your podcast and I was walking through my kitchen and I left a snail trail across my kitchen." I'm like, "Holy shit." I didn't read that question out loud. But yeah, people are forward. Theodore, oh, I love Theodore, my favorite cat. Um, want to brunch with me in Vegas and get messy? Yo, that's gonna cost $100. If we go to brunch, it's gonna cost $100. Vegas is the most overpriced place in the entire world, but I'm down. I haven't been to Vegas in a long time. I'm down. Always down for Vegas. I haven't been in a long time. Let's go. Let's go. Insidious or Conjuring? Insidious. Conjuring is terrible. Conjuring, James Wan can't do anything good. He can't do anything that I will be entertained by for the duration of my life. I'm convinced. I'm convinced that throughout the rest of my life, James Wan will not do anything that I'm into. I'm convinced. If you could take one horror trope away and replace it with something else, which would you get rid of and which would you fucking shit? Um, let's see. I like nudity. I like when there's nudity. What horror trope would I probably all the fucking twists. I, I I like twists in movies, but like they're so bad. I just watched Malignant the other day, and the twist was like I'm an imaginary friend, and then the other twist was I'm not really an imaginary friend. I'm a malignant tumor in the back of your head, and you're gonna pull your back of your head apart. In theory, it sounds cool, but it was not. It made me very upset. Malignant was not good. The last 25 minutes of it is watchable because it's like John Wick kind of, but you know what I mean. That's some movies are good, some movies are bad. How much do you love French girls? They're hairy and fat. No, they're good. I like French people. I have no disposition to any certain type of people, black people, Hispanic people. I mean, I'm half Mexican, so, you know, I know Mexican ladies are annoying because I grew up with them my whole life. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. French people are rad. I like French people. I like French toast. I like French bread, French kiss. Yo, the French kiss doesn't get enough credit. Tongue goes in mouth, penis immediately erect. Immediately. What's the best compliment you ever got? Anytime someone tells me I'm funny, it's the best. I melt into pieces because there's no way you're gonna be like, you're so handsome. I'm gonna believe you. I'm the ugliest human being you will ever see in your entire life. But if you tell me that I'm funny, I believe that. So I will accept that and I appreciate it. That's the best compliment anybody could ever give me. Hey, you're really funny today. You told this really funny joke. And I get that often, and it's never not meaningful to me. Ever. I love that compliment. It's my favorite. When do you feel happiest? Right now, when I'm doing this podcast, when I'm doing my movie reviews, when I'm watching horror movies, when I'm like talking to my friends. I was just playing Jedi Survivor before I started doing this podcast. Phenomenal game. I love that. When I'm with my cats, when I'm surfing. You know what? Recently, when I lift weights, I'm pretty happy. I don't know. I'm a pretty happy guy all around. I don't in my 20s I was depressed a lot. My 30s, no. I don't think I've been depressed one time in my 30s. It's been great. Big spoon or little spoon? Obviously, big spoon. You can't say little spoon and be a dude. I mean, I guess you can. It's 2025. You could do whatever you want. It just sounds weird to me. Different times. My favorite childhood memory, I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember. I don't remember my childhood very much. That's probably a red flag. But you know what? It's probably time to end the podcast. 45 minutes. There's no way anybody listened to the whole thing. But if you did, I love you. If you did, I love you. And I appreciate you guys. I will see you next week. I only got the two things. We only talked about the Oscars. We talked about Trump being a piece of shit. This is not bipartisan. This is not about left or right. If you identify with left or right, you're a weirdo. Like, it's not about that. It's just about just be fucking a moral, good human being. Just be a good human being. You know what I mean? If someone's like, I'm gonna make out with a guy. Cool, make out with a guy. That's high five, dude. Suck his dick too. Just give him some of that. Make everybody happy, happy. It's expensive to live in this world. Who cares what other people worry about yourself? Worry about yourself. I wish I could tell this to this stupid bitch that I work with. Worry about yourself. Stop worrying about other people. Worry about you. I love you guys. Take care of each other, please. It's hard out there. It's rough.